Rod deserves to be heard out, and I appreciate the president talking to him this week, and we're going to talk to him. I want to know what he said, then I want to know what he meant. I want to know whether anyone else was present for these meetings. But if your case hinges on the credibility of Andy McCabe, good luck.
Trey Gowdy with Maria from over the weekend, demanding answers about the Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein talking about secretly recording President Trump. Memos written by the former Deputy FBI Director Andy McCabe. They could offer some insight. Context important. Fox News senior judicial analyst Napolitano here on that. So the president will not meet with Rosenstein. It does not appear this week at the White House. That meeting's been postponed pending the Kavanaugh matter. Right. But there could be some action on the Hill. What would you expect with Republicans?
I don't expect much on the Hill. These are behind closed doors meetings. Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein's principal accuser is fired. FBI Assistant Director Andy McCabe fired for lying to other FBI agents and under investigation for perjury by the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. This is the type of accuser you want, because few people would believe him. 3 people in the room said the comment about wearing a wire was either sarcastic or intended to put McCabe down. McCabe and Rosenstein were going at it. It was not taken or intended seriously.
There's a lot of mind games going on this, and I mentioned context, significant as you would admit as well, but with the Kavanaugh matter really occupying all the oxygen in the room. We got this memo from Rachel Mitchell. She was the prosecutor from Arizona who led the questioning on behalf of Republicans.
Right.
Part of what she concluded is this: a he said, she said case is incredibly difficult to prove, but this case is even weaker than that. Dr. Ford identified other witnesses to the event, and those witnesses either refuted her allegations or failed to corroborate them. Legally, how do you interpret her conclusion?
I think her conclusion is sound under the law. Prosecutors don't like to take, and they shouldn't take, cases that they don't believe they can win. And this is not a winnable case if it were to be prosecuted as a criminal case. But what we witnessed the other day was not a legal proceeding, it was a political proceeding. And in the minds of the public, who was more credible? In the minds of the public, if you liked him, he was more credible. If you didn't like him or don't like the president, she was more credible. She was very credible and he was credible. That's why we're having this further FBI investigation, which is a perilous time and place for Judge Kavanaugh.
36 years on, difficult to figure that out.
Yes.
Agreed?
Yes.
James Comey writes this in the New York Times. His op-ed says this: it is idiotic to put a shot clock on the FBI, but it's better to give professionals 7 days to find facts than to have no professional investigation at all.
Fully agreed. Fully agreed with what he said, as do most law enforcement personnel. But remember this, Bill, and I think our viewers understand this. The FBI has legal and ethical obligations that transcend the game clock and transcend any instructions given to them by the president. If they find evidence of criminal behavior, misleading Congress is a crime. Lying to Congress is a crime. Lying to the FBI is a crime. Submitting an affidavit to Congress that is not true is a crime. If they find evidence of this, they have to keep digging. They can't stop because the clock is up, and they know that, and you can be expected to do that.
Do you think Dr. Ford submits to this FBI interview, or will her lawyers make demands as they did with Chuck Grassley in that committee?
There's no negotiating with the FBI. They show up, they ask to speak with you. If you say no or put some conditions on it, they're gone, and they'll report. The witness failed to speak with us. Then you draw an inference from that. Why did the witness fail to speak? I'd be quite surprised if Dr. Ford, who begged for an FBI interrogation at one point, including under oath on Thursday, refuses to speak to them.
Come back to the previous answer you gave. If the FBI comes back and says, we asked so-and-so this question, and we're not able to draw a conclusion based on the answer we got from said witness, they come back to the Senate, and what do they do with that information? Suggesting does it go past Friday? Does Mitch McConnell say, hey, listen, you agreed to 7 days advance?
It will go past Friday if Mitch McConnell does not have 51 votes. And that will be determined by either the 4 who insisted on this FBI investigation, Senator Flake, Senator Murkowski, Senator Collins, and I think Senator Manchin, or if Judge Kavanaugh begins to lose other support. So why I said it's perilous for him. He has locked in his version of events. It's not a crime to be drunk when you're a kid. It's not a crime to pass out when you're a kid. but it is highly perilous for a federal judge to state that under oath when there's evidence to contradict it.
We've got to do a better job of getting across that America is freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion,